Hi everyone, today we will take a look at the best studio speakers of this year. Links to all of the best studio speakers will be listed in the description below. For a chance to win one of these best studio speakers, comment speakers down below. Let's start. Number 5. KRK Rokit RP7 G4 Best Quality. If you've ever stepped foot inside the studio domain of an electronic music producer, the chances are you're familiar with the famous yellow speaker cones of KRK. The Rokit series, now in its 4th generation, is the Gibson-owned brand's affordable near-field range and has a selection of neat features which make it worthy of note. Aesthetically, the new Rokits are chips of the old block, featuring the trademark yellow Kevlar LF cones, with the new models also having yellow Kevlar HF units as well. The amplification is now Class D as opposed to the Class AB design previously used. And there's also a brick wall limiter. On the underside of the monitor, you will find a thin high-density ISO foam pad. This not only helps with isolation, it provides some crucial tabletop grip. On the rear of the unit, there is a balanced input via a Combo XLR TRS socket, the power inlet and on-off switch. The Rokit RP7 is a very decent speaker with great quality. Overall, it is well built and there are more than enough options for tweaking the setup so that the sonics are optimized for the room and, crucially, for your own personal taste. Number 4. Yamaha HS5 Best Value. Small speakers aren't just for people who can't afford large ones. Savvy engineers know that tiny near fields provide an invaluable alternative reference to full-range studio speakers when mixing. Problem is, most near fields sound mediocre when placed where they ergonomically belong, on workstation or console shelves. Yamaha's new HS5 active monitor, on the other hand, sounds sensational in that setting. Small room? No problem. Measuring only 6.7 inch by 11.25 inch by 8.75 inch and weighing only 11.7 pounds, the HS5 accommodates even the most cramped control room. The HS5's 5-inch woofer and 1-inch dome tweeter are bi-amplified with enough juice to make a stereo pair of these little guys plenty loud unless you're as deaf as a post. The speaker's frequency response is stated to be 74 Hz to 24 kHz, minus 3 dB with 10 dB down points at 54 Hz and 30 kHz. If the HS5 is to be your only wide-range speaker, you'll need to add a subwoofer in order to properly mix bass instruments with everything that voices higher up. There's also a minor dip between 7 kHz and 10 kHz, which makes vocal sibilance sound slightly understated. A top-notch choice. Number 3. M-Audio BX3 and BX4 Best Mid-Range. Compact and convenient, M-Audio's new BX monitors expand the appeal of this established range and do so at an incredible price. M-Audio's long-established BX-powered studio speakers range is aimed at project and home users, and the latest designs are their most compact yet. Regarding design, built around 3.5-inch and 4.5-inch Kevlar LF drivers and the same 1-inch silk dome tweeter, the BX3 and BX4 have identical features and very similar prices, so whichever one you go for will probably boil down to size considerations as much as anything else. The BX3 and BX4 are rear-ported, so work best with some space behind them. That said, there's both high and low frequency equalizer providing quite a bit of tweaking. And of course, with all controls on the active unit, you only need to make one set of adjustments. Admittedly, this also restricts the options to apply different equalizers to each side, but we wouldn't expect that sort of flexibility at this price. In summary, the overall sound of the BXs is pretty good, albeit slightly sweetened. The stereo image is also good and the tweeter waveguide delivers a nice broad sweet spot. Convenience is very much the name of the game with these BX monitors, and they are clearly aimed at a much broader market than their larger near-field studio monitors. Number 2. Focal Shape 65 Most Premium. When Focal introduced its new shape range of studio monitors, its task was clear, but no less formidable. Replace the French manufacturer's popular CMS line. The shape range comes in 40, 50, and 65 flavors, and it is the latter we are looking at here. In terms of price, the shape range is positioned somewhere between Focal's budget-friendly Alpha series and the Solo 6B, another 6.5-inch two-way monitor. The Shape series is an interesting departure for Focal, certainly in terms of aesthetics. The main speaker cabinet is black painted MDF finished with a luxurious walnut veneer that is less of your studio spaceship style and more in the realm of high connoisseur. Indeed, the shape Sirius would not look out of place in a home cinema setup. On the other side, you'll find 4 spikes per speaker, which comes in handy for acoustic decoupling and adjusting ring angle. Most audio pros tend to align with a particular speaker manufacturer. This makes perfect sense after all. What one person's shimmering top end might be an eye speak to the inner ear of another. Number 1. Edifier R1280dB. Best budget. The Edifier R1280dB is a pair of powered speakers designed primarily for use with desktop PCs. However, they also lend themselves well to providing an easy audio boost for a TV or a one-stop hi-fi solution. Measuring 146 by 241 by 175 mm per speaker, the Edifier R1280dB sits somewhere in size between a more typical PC speaker and a bookshelf hi-fi speaker. Stick them next to a 24-inch or smaller monitor and they rather dwarf it, but they're all good match for 27-inch and larger monitors. Given the size and heft of these speakers compared with most PC speakers, it's reasonable to expect a powerful and full sound. And sure enough, the Edifier R1280dB delivered the goods. There's more than enough volume for any PC setup and plenty to fill a modest-sized living room too. Perhaps most crucially, the sound is reasonably even, with no particularly prominent boost to the bass or treble. PC speakers in particular often try to use bass or treble to sound more powerful and detailed. Here, however, you just get a reasonably even sound. To conclude, power, versatility, and a bargain price make this pair of speakers a fantastic choice. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna see you again in the next video. Until then, stay safe, take care, and peace out.